Most people won't tell you to your face that they don't like you. They don't need to. Their behavior will whisper it in ways polite enough to deny, but clear enough to see if you know what to look for. And here's the danger. If you miss the signs, you'll give your loyalty, time, and energy to people who have already decided you're not welcome in their world. Today, we will explore 7 subtle signs someone dislikes you but is hiding it, and how a Stoic turns that knowledge into strength. 1. They dull your good news. You tell them something great that happened, and they go flat. They change the subject, or they congratulate you with zero real enthusiasm. Think about this. If someone likes you, your success is their joy. If they don't, your success feels like their loss. People who feel envy often hide it by minimizing your good news so it doesn't threaten them. But what would a Stoic do in this case? A Stoic like Marcus Aurelius would remind you that another person's reaction is not your possession. You can't control it, and it says more about their inner state than your achievement. Your task is to remain steady, unmoved by praise or dismissal, and to keep walking your path with clarity. Your move: share your wins without apology. Never shrink them to protect someone else's fragile ego. If your success makes them uncomfortable, that's their work to do, not yours. The right people will be inspired by your victories, not threatened by them. So ask yourself, why dim your light for those who are blinded by it, when you could shine for those who are guided by it? 2. They agree, with a hidden edge. They nod along, then slip in a sly jab, a sarcastic twist, or a comment that undermines what you just said. This is the enemy of clarity, the compliment with a knife hidden in it. Psychology calls it passive-aggressive communication, hostility delivered in a way they can later deny. I believe that a Stoic like Epictetus would tell you that insults only work if you let them in. If you treat them as nothing, they become nothing. The moment you stop giving them weight, you take away all the power they hope to have over you. People who use this tactic often count on you being too polite to call it out, which is why it becomes their weapon of choice. They want you second-guessing yourself, replaying the conversation later, wondering if you imagined the slight. But a Stoic doesn't waste energy decoding hidden hostility. They see it, name it for what it is internally, and move forward with their peace intact. So what can you do? A calm, neutral, interesting, why do you say that, forces them to either explain or retreat. Either way, they know you've seen it. 3. They limit your access. They're always busy when you invite them, but somehow have time for others. People who value you make time. People who don't make excuses. The Stoic approach: don't chase. Seneca said, associate with those who make a better man of you. If they're pulling away, let the space speak. Distance reveals truth far better than arguments ever could. Sometimes the most powerful move is to step back and let absence show you who truly values your presence. So, match their effort, not their words. If they give little, you give little. It's not revenge, it's balance. When you meet people at the level they meet you, you protect your energy. And in that protection, you make room for those who will meet you fully. Ask yourself then, are you pouring energy into proving your worth to the wrong people, while the right ones are still waiting to find you? If these insights are helping you see things more clearly, take a second to subscribe. It's the simplest way to support the channel, and make sure you don't miss the next video. Stoicism changed my life, and it can change yours too. 4. Their body language closes off. The words might be polite, but the body tells the truth. Crossed arms, minimal eye contact, leaning away, feet pointed toward the exit. Your ears can be fooled, your eyes much harder. When words and body language conflict, people instinctively believe the body. Dislike has a way of showing itself silently, long before it's spoken. Words can be fake, but body language is harder to disguise. If you learn to read it, you'll see the truth long before the words catch up. Often, they're not even aware of how much their posture is giving away, but your subconscious will register it before your mind catches up. The body speaks in micro-expressions, tiny shifts, and physical distance that reveal more than any carefully chosen sentence. A Stoic notices these signals without overreacting, using them as quiet information to guide where they invest their time and energy. Your move. Stop convincing yourself they're warm if their body screams cold. You can acknowledge politeness without mistaking it for connection. Trust the signals you see, not just the words you hear. Distance doesn't always mean hostility, but it does mean a lack of closeness. And no matter how polite the surface, a genuine connection is felt, not forced. 5. They're strangely quiet in your presence. They're talkative with others, but when you speak, enthusiasm fades. Dislike doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes it's the silence that speaks the truth. They are not interested in you, and their behavior shows it. Stoic thinking reframes this. You are not diminished by another's disinterest. Your value remains untouched. Their lack of interest is simply information, a mirror showing you where not to invest. It frees you from chasing what was never truly yours. And when you stop pouring energy into the wrong places, you have more to give to the people who genuinely welcome it. That's where real connection lives. So resist the urge to win them over. Let their silence define the depth of your connection and act accordingly. Some doors stay closed for a reason. Forcing them open only distracts you from the ones that are already wide open, waiting for you. And ask yourself, why fight for space in someone's life when there are people who would gladly make room for you? 6. They question your motives more than your ideas. They don't just disagree, they imply you have hidden or selfish reasons. Critiquing your reasoning can be an honest debate. Questioning your motives, that's personal. Psychology calls this attribution bias, assigning negative intent without evidence. A Stoic sees this for what it is, projection. If they can imagine ill intent so easily, it's because they're familiar with it in themselves. Their suspicion is a reflection of their own mindset, not a revelation of yours. You don't need to defend yourself against shadows. Instead, focus on living in a way that makes false accusations irrelevant. Over time, consistency will make the truth impossible to ignore. What else can you do then? Decide whether it's worth correcting. Often, silence is the sharper response. It denies them the satisfaction of pulling you into defense mode. 7. They show warmth in public, coolness in private. In front of others, they're all smiles. Alone with you, different person. If their kindness only exists under an audience, it's not kindness, it's performance. They are keeping up appearances to protect their social image while maintaining distance in reality. This two-faced behavior is one of the clearest signs of hidden dislike. It tells you they care more about how they look than how they treat you. The Stoic would remind you to trust the private reality, not the public act. Because when the mask comes off, that's when you see who they truly are. Remind yourself that appearances are often a disguise and stay grounded in your truth. Judge them by the private moments. That's where truth lives. And ask yourself, do you want relationships that only exist for show, or ones that remain real when no one else is watching? Here's the uncomfortable reality. Dislike doesn't need open conflict to exist. It thrives in the space between politeness and authenticity. And if you mistake civility for connection, you'll keep investing in people who have already emotionally checked out. The Stoic answer isn't to punish those who dislike you. It's to see them clearly without illusion, and to adjust your investment accordingly. You don't need to convince them to like you. You need to live in such a way that their approval is irrelevant and your self-respect is unshakable. Because the truth is, when you stop chasing lukewarm connections, you create space for the genuine ones to enter, and that is where your real strength begins. If this was valuable to you, subscribe to the channel, and let's become unshakable together.